So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. Quick update. 3, 2, 1. I got the ticket for Budapest. I got it. I was so lucky this morning. I won the little lottery which Roma gave. I've planned everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest series in the history of YouTube will come your way. I will be going to Budapest. That's the update since yesterday, because yesterday was a no. Today's a yes. Smash that like button if you're ready, if you're excited just like I am. I'm going to try and make you guys live the same exact feelings that I am going to live. From the first day to the last day. It's going to be a series. It's not going to be one video. It's going to be more than one video. It's like a Netflix series. But yeah, look, no need for that. We've got a long time to go until that moment. We've got like 10-ish days to go, maybe more. So yeah, we've got Salernitana on Monday, transfer news today, match preview tomorrow. We've got Fiorentina next weekend. Let's focus on these games. I wanted to speak about transfer news today because it's been a while since we spoke about transfer news. And there have been some updates from Fabrizio Romano. There have been some key updates when it comes to our summer window. Now, obviously, when we speak about transfer, the first thing which I have to say is that a potential Europa League win will change the entire summer transfer window. Because if we win Europa League, we don't just go in the Champions League. But if you win Europa League, you're going to attract massive players. You're going to attract massive players because you reached Champions League football and because you just won a European trophy. And therefore, a lot of things could happen in our summer window if we were to win the Europa League. And it's definitely going to be a completely different summer transfer window if we do win Europa League to if we don't win Europa League. But we've got some news today regarding strikers. Because Roma's interested in a couple of strikers, which are both very young strikers. We are speaking about next-gen strikers here. We're speaking about, I always get his name wrong, I've got it right on the title this time, Emegha from Sturm Graz. And we've also shown some interest in Ferguson from Brighton, but obviously that's going to be a very complicated one because Ferguson is a classic Premier League player and he's probably going to move to a bigger Premier League side just because, you know, so many clubs have shown interest in him. And yeah, I mean, normally Premier League clubs ask quite a lot of money for these players. And I wouldn't actually mind because out of the two, I would much prefer Emegha. And yeah, let's start with Emegha. Now, who is Emegha? Emegha is the striker of Sturm Graz. He is very, very young. He's a next generation striker. He is 20 years old and he has got insane statistics in the Austrian league. He's 20 years old and this season he has 9 goals and 3 assists in the Austrian league. He has got 1 goal and 1 assist in 5 European games which Sturm Graz played. And don't get me wrong, they were in the same group stage as Feyenoord and Lazio, so it wasn't the easiest of group stages. Then he also has 1 assist in 4 games in the OFB Cup, which I believe is kind of like the DFB Pokal in Germany or the Coppa Italia in Italy. It's like the national cup, the FA Cup, the equivalent. He's got incredible stats, for 20 years old, have 12 contributions, 9 goals and 3 assists. In a look, it's not the most competitive of the leagues, but the Austrian league is an interesting league because the Austrian league is a league which grows a lot of players. Now, obviously, they've got Salzburg, and Salzburg are probably one of the best teams when it comes to growing players and planting the seed in these unknown players. You look at Haaland and where he is now. You look at, a few years ago, there were also rumors of Minamino, which used to play there, and then he moved to Liverpool and went on loan to somebody. Then obviously Sesko, which we faced them. We faced Salzburg. We should know about them. They've got a lot of interesting players. Okafor up front. They are a team which, just like many teams such as Benfica and Ajax, grow players and make a lot of profit from the selling of these players. And us, Roma and Salzburg, are interested in signing Emegha. And the second Salzburg is interested in an unknown player, you know you're in for a shout. Because Salzburg never get their youngies wrong. They always buy these players for no amount of money, and then they make so much profit. So the second Salzburg is interested alongside us, you know that he's going to be a player with massive prospects up front. So yeah, it's a competition. This has been stated by Fabrizio Romano a few days ago. I wanted to go live for it, but it was such a busy schedule. We had Europa League semi-final, Mourinho's press conference and all of that. So I wanted to go live about this a few days ago because Fabrizio Romano's statement came a few days ago, and he said that AS Roma and Red Bull Salzburg are interested in the signing of Emegha. He's a Dutch player. And he plays for Sturm Graz in Austria. I would love him. Why do I want him? I've said it many times how I think we need one of these players which could turn into a beast. And he has got insane stats. And as I just said, the fact that Salzburg are interested in him clearly shows to you that he's someone you need to buy. We need him, first of all, because we need to start recruiting these bigger players. We need him because he has got incredible prospects, incredible stats, and even if we were to sell him in the future, we would make a lot of money from it. Kind of what Salzburg does, a lot of profit from it. Kind of the opposite of what we do, because we normally buy these players for a lot of money and then resell them for less money, and that's not profit. So buying him for a little amount and then reselling him makes you a lot of profit. And then the third option why we need him is because we need attacking players in this summer window. The most critical point of our season this season has been the amount of goals we haven't scored in big games. And that is obviously due to the fact that our strikers this season didn't have a great season. Obviously due to the fact that our strikers this season didn't get a lot of support from behind. But yeah, I just feel like we need him. I think we need him. Obviously, he wouldn't become the first striker. I mean, at least I wouldn't buy him and have such a gamble and he becomes my first striker. If we buy him because we're interested in him, has to start off as a second striker instead of Belotti, which I think we all agree has to go. I love his attachment to this badge. I love the sacrifices that he makes for this team. But a striker has to back the goals. And as much as I love Belotti, we have to get a better second striker out there. And he's the perfect second striker we could get. Young player, which you can grow. You're thinking about your future. You're thinking about your sustainability. Get Emegha right now. And then when it comes to first striker, I still think we have to keep Tammy. But that's because, again, I always say this. I'm biased on Tammy's behalf. Because the first striker is a position which is very delicate. I've said this many times. And I think I truly say this. And believe me when I say this. Tammy next season, buy him 1/2 players to put next to Dybala and Pellegrini. Next season, Tammy is going to score so many goals. So many goals. If we have Dybala, Pellegrini, Aouar, and maybe somebody else, such as, I'll give you an example, Hakim Ziyech, Tammy's going to bag the goals. So my impression right now is Tammy has to stay. Tammy has to be our striker next season. And second striker, Belotti goes and Emegha comes in because he's got insane statistics. I would love a player like him. I would love to brag in front of everyone buying an unknown player and making him into a beast. Look what Napoli did with Kvaratskhelia. We need to anticipate bigger teams, improve our scouting department, and get into these signings before other teams. And I really want this to happen. I really would like Emegha to come. He also looks like Osimhen when it comes to his hair. So who knows? He could become the new Osimhen. And then the other option is Ferguson from Brighton. There have been rumours coming out today from Ireland. Now Ferguson is obviously an Irish player. Again, he's a very young player, plays for Brighton. I believe he's got some pretty good stats, even though Lewis Ferguson is the Bologna player. Ferguson, Brighton. Evan Ferguson. I know Man United are interested in him. A lot of teams are interested in him. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists in 16 Premier League games. He has got 3 goals in 4 games in the FA Cup. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist in 2 games in the Carabao Cup. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist in 3 games in the EFL Trophy 2022-2023. And he has got 5 goals and 1 assist in 6 games in Premier League 2, which I believe is the academy of the Premier. He's got insane statistics. But again, he is a player coming from the Premier League. So many Premier League clubs are interested in him. We are interested in him coming from Ireland, which is where he's based, where he's from. So I would actually believe these rumours. But I don't think it's going to happen because bigger clubs in the Premier League are going to be willing to spend more money on him because they've got more money. And I think out of the two, the more tangible path is going to be Emegha. I kind of prefer Emegha. I see more prospect coming from Emegha. But at the same time, he's got incredible statistics. Ferguson, both of them have got incredible stats. I think buying any of the two would improve your secondary layer of strikers, if not the first. Because look, if we keep Tammy next season and Tammy plays like this season, then obviously Tammy knows that he's got 2 players behind him which have got incredible statistics. And if let's all be serious here. Let's all be very realistic here. The reason why Tammy is our first striker this season is because Belotti's been even worse than him. Let's all agree on this. Because had we had a better second striker, Tammy this season would have shifted to second striker. But the fact that we have got an even worse this season, we've had an even worse second striker, meant that there was no things such as competitions. If Tammy is our first striker starting this season, he has bad statistics and doesn't back the goals, and Emegha or Ferguson on the other hand score more goals than him, then Tammy is going to be shifted to second striker because the secondary strikers, the backup strikers, score more goals than him. This season we couldn't do this because our secondary striker had even worse statistics than our first striker. So we couldn't really switch the two because it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't have made sense. But that's the way I see it. I think Tammy needs competition. And this season he has had competition, but it's been poor competition because, his competitors scored 0 goals in how many Serie A games. So I think we have to improve our attack, and it's definitely one of the priorities in this summer window. But any of the two I would love. If I have to pick, I would go Emegha because just feel like the fact that Salzburg are interested in him means that we have to anticipate them. Because if they are interested in him, he's a great player because they never get their youngies wrong. Between the two, I'd prefer Emegha. I agree. Simon, all are free. Firmino, Tielemans, Ziyech, Ceballos, Xhaka, Aouar. We have signed Aouar, mate. That's who we've signed. We've basically signed him. Xhaka's going to Bayer Leverkusen, apparently. Ceballos, I would love Ziyech. I would love Tielemans. I would love Firmino. I'm not too keen on Ceballos. But, they're all free agents. And we're going to see a lot of free agents this summer. Prepare for that. We are going to buy free agents this summer. If we win Europa League, then we're going to attract the big players. And, use the prize money, use the money we get from selling players, and I think we are going to. I think again, I've said this many times that we are gonna get a big player, like one of those shockers. It's gonna come. Come on, don't measure a striker just in goals. Belotti is doing really well. He's not. Well, you're right. Belotti sacrifices himself for the team. And that's effectively why Mourinho's chosen him many times over Tammy this season. I love Belotti and the way he fights for this team, and I fully agree on that. But unfortunately, a striker needs to back the goals. And that is what you look at a striker. If you've got a striker which doesn't score goals, but is great at defending, fair play to him. Much love to you, but that's not why I bought you. Belotti gives a lot to this team. It could be argued Belotti this season gave in more than Tammy, and I fully agree on that. But a striker is judged by the goals. If a striker doesn't bag the goals, then just shift his position and don't make him a striker. That's kind of what I see. If we've got two strikers which bagged no goals this season, but played really well in other sections, like defensive section, fighting section, sacrificing themselves, great, but that's not what I bought you for. That's not what I look at you when I look at a striker. I mean that's what I think. I mean, at least myself, when I look at a striker, I look at the statistics and the goals he scored. And that's why you effectively buy a striker. You know, you don't buy a striker because he's good at defending. You buy a striker because he's good at scoring. And that's. But yeah, Belotti's given a lot. But obviously, if we wanna step up next season, we have to buy a better backup option to give even more competition to our first striker. But yeah, I agree on that. I think Belotti's done really well this season in terms of sacrificing himself. Definitely not on the scoring part. The question is whether Roma is too big of a jump for him. I don't think so, because it's in clubs like Roma where he's going to grab the attention of other teams. If he stays at Sturm Graz, or even if he goes to a similar team, that doesn't grab the attention of bigger clubs. So for his own football career, and again, it's not a massive step. You know, Roma isn't Real Madrid. Roma's a great team, but you know, he's not joining a Real Madrid. He's joining a good team who's in a Europa League final. But yeah, I think it's going to definitely be a bigger step than joining Salzburg. See, more important question: if Roma win the Europa League final, when will the celebration be? I live in the US and considering flying to Rome for the celebrations. Look. Apparently the rumors are that there won't be the big screens at the Olimpico this season. There won't be the big screens at the Olimpico, inside the Olimpico this season, because we are playing against Lo Spezia 3 days after the Europa League final. So the pitch can't get destroyed. And if we were to win that Europa League final, the pitch would be destroyed because everybody's going to invade it and do a pitch invasion. So from what I'm gathering, the big screens are not going to be inside the stadium this time around, because, and you know, not that we care about that game, because regardless of whether we win or lose, the Spezia game is going to be a useless game, because we will not be able to catch up for Champions League, and if we win, well, why would we even care to play that game? But it's a very important game for our opponents, because at the end of the day, Lo Spezia's safety could come up to that one game. So that game has to be played. You know, Lo Spezia is very close. They're on the brink of that relegation. So their safety could come down to that game. So it's a very important game for them. So apparently from what I'm gathering, the celebrations won't be, like the big screens won't be at the Olimpico this time around. The big screens should be at Circo Massimo, around the city centre of Rome, which I think is even more scenic, if you ask me. But when it comes to celebrations, when the celebrations will be, well, if we win, the celebrations start the second after the game ends. You know, the second the referee blows that whistle and we win the Europa League final, the celebration is going to go on. If you mean like when the bus and the trophy are going to come around the city, I really don't know. Because it could easily also be after the Spezia game to kind of end the season. It could be after the Europa League game, but it could also be after our season completely ends. I don't know. We haven't heard anything on that. But what I'm heard right now is that if anyone is planning to come to Rome to watch the game on the big screens, it's not going to be at the Olimpico. Most probably. It's not confirmed yet, but it's most probably not going to be at the Olimpico because they can't do it this season because of the pitch. Yeah, congrats. Thanks everyone. I mean, I got that ticket because of you guys, because I really wouldn't have had an opportunity like this. I cannot believe I got that ticket. I can't believe I'll be there at the final. Like it's gonna be a one life opportunity. One in a lifetime opportunity. I'm gonna film it. I'm gonna film everything. It's gonna be so cool. I cannot wait. Or is there still any leg? Or is there still legs to? Yeah, could happen. I wouldn't mind that swap, but part of me really wants to keep it, or wants to keep Tammy. Uh, Mourinho playing the ugliest soccer in all of Europe and probably the world, but he won a Conference League and this year Europa League final. That makes us mediocre fans for liking this coach? Absolutely not. That makes us diehard fans. Simon, we really need a shocking signing. Well, yeah, Osimhen. I mean, like buying Osimhen won't happen. Buying Haaland won't happen, mate. We gotta be realistic. Vlahovic could happen. Out of all the three, I'd actually put Vlahovic as not possible, but Juventus are in a mess, and Juventus also got thrown out by Europa League. Vlahovic, I'm not saying it could happen, but I definitely expect a shocker to happen. Not Holland. Like, we gotta be realistic, everyone. To make the jump to big club status, we can't be satisfied with Belotti playing hard. Inter have 4 strikers that score. That's exactly what I'm saying. Give Belotti another season before you conclude that he doesn't bag the goals. I'm talking about the celebrations of the Circo Massimo or the parade. Parade, I don't know. I mean, if we win that final, you could go everywhere in the city central Roma and the fans will celebrate. But yeah, the parade, I don't know. I think they'll decide after if the final goes to plan and we win it. But yeah, again, we've got a long way to go to the final. Let's focus on Salernitana because it's going to be an important one. I mean, not that we care much about the league anymore, but it's a home game. These fans deserve another win, and it's going to be a party on Monday. So great stadium ball will come. It's going to be a period. It's a period of time where if you haven't clicked that bell button down below, you're missing so much because from even today to after that Europa League final, insane content is going to come. So click that bell notification button, smash the like button if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Tomorrow with the match preview of the Salernitana game. It's Tammy against Boulaye, Dia, Equa, El Bomber de Granada. Yeah, I'll catch you soon. Simon, out. Who's playing tonight? I thought Milan. Oh, if Milan bottle it against Sampdoria. If Milan bottle against Sampdoria, then I would be the first one to say we have to win on Monday. Even if we don't care about the league. If Milan bottle it tonight, I mean, let's win on Monday. I mean, let's win even if they win. But you see what I mean? Like, if Milan don't win tonight, then we could actually get Champions League football because Juventus is going to get penalised. Right, I'll catch you soon. Simon, out.